All right, guys. I used to, long time ago now, on the east side of Milwaukee, I used to live in this really big, huge rooming house. And I remember seeing the ad in the paper. The rent was only $325, guys, at the time. And when I saw the location, I jumped at it. You know, I wanted that place. I just wanted it. $325 east side by the lake? Nah. Couldn't be real. Just couldn't be real. So I called, got the place. Pretty easy, because at that time my credit was kind of whack. So I got the place, and you know, it didn't require a lot of moving furniture in because the place was already furnished. This house was built, you guys, in the late 1870s. It's located on a street called Humboldt and Kewanee here in Milwaukee. The address exactly, for those who live here that may want to go drive past this house or actually see this house, 1655 North Humboldt. Mine was apartment 10. I had the apartment all the way at the top. Okay, like I was saying, I'm gonna give you a little bit of history about this house. Like I said, it was built in the late 1870s, and it was owned by a doctor that never married. He had turned some of the rooms in the house into, rooms that he let his patients die in. So it basically became a hospice. And that's what it was. Scary, right? Hospice. Yeah. But anyway, I moved in. You know, I was ecstatic because I liked it. You know, it was like a full size. It was big. I mean, can you imagine a house built back then? You would know that the rooms would not be like standard size rooms. These rooms were huge. They were huge, like really high ceilings. And, you know, for it to be a rooming house, you never felt like you were confined, ever. You never felt that way. Because like I said, with so much space, and then the windows were so big, you know, it was just, you just never felt like you were in a small space. So, like I said, I liked it. I had a full-size kitchen, okay, and I had like a living room area that had a little futon and stuff, and then it had a bed and, you know, little dresser and night lights. It was furnished already, guys. But I did bring a few things of my own, you know, to make it more home. So I liked it. You know, I actually lived in this place for quite some time. Actually, over 3 years, even though I knew it was haunted. I knew that when I first moved in. But I'm gonna tell you guys, I wasn't so scared. I mean, all the time. Like, initially, yeah. At first, you're gonna be scared. But I guess I started to get used to certain things. And what I started to do, just to make sure that it wasn't just me, there were 10 apartments in this house. Okay, this one big house, 10 apartments. Okay, I was in apartment 10. That's way at the top. It's like it was 3 stories, or is, because this house is still, you know, people still live here. They still live there, in that house. So, matter of fact, my friend Randy lives there still. My friend Sue was living there. She no longer lives there anymore. But Randy does. Randy still lives there. But you guys, I wanted to know if I was the only one experiencing weird things happening. So what I did was I started walking around the house and knocking on people's doors, and just politely, you know, even though it might have seemed a little crazy to be asking people about ghosts, I wanted to know. Okay, I wanted to get to the bottom line of things. So I did. I started walking around asking people, you know, that lived there, if they had any type of supernatural experiences. And guys, everybody, now I didn't get to everybody in the same day, mind you. Some people was at work or whatever, so I didn't, you know, some people weren't there. But mostly everybody was pretty much there. So I waited, you know, for like the weekend to come so that I can talk to the people that I didn't get a chance to talk to. Just to have the full confirmation of the whole house. And guys, what I found out was that everybody in all the other 9 apartments all had a different ghost story. Now that's scary. That was scary. Everybody had a different ghost story. You know. Some involved little children. Some involved people or things physically touching them, waking them up out of their sleep. Some involved hearing voices in their units or just in the house in the basement. Some involved things or things that you can't see, supernatural things, knocking like on their doors. And every time this person would go answer, no one would be there. Everybody just had a different story. And I just thought that was amazing and scary at the same time. So I talked to Sue, my friend Sue. She lived there at that time. She was in apartment 9. I was in apartment 10. Me and Sue were really, really close. I would leave my door cracked and she would leave her door cracked so that we were able to come back and forth, you know, to each other's apartments, you know, and things like that, guys. So Sue started to tell me some interesting things. Scared the hell out of me. But she did tell me some interesting stories, guys. And she told me, man, she blew my mind a couple times. But one time, guys, she actually told me that she had lived in the same house back in the 1940s. Okay? Now, keep in mind, it was at that time, like, oh, shit. Oh, man. Like maybe 2000. I'm going to say 2002 or 2003. Somewhere around there, guys. It was a long time ago. But she told me that she lived in that house in the 1940s. And, you know, I already kind of thought that maybe this Sue might be a little, you know, have a little issue going on. You know, just by the things that she said, because they was off the wall, some of it. So I just was like, okay, Sue, you know, okay, this is going to be another one of her stories. And I was just prepared to listen until she told me to go into my closet and I had a whole bunch of, you know, just bags in her, bags of clothes. She told me that it was a door on the floor of my closet and that it led into some type of a room or something like that. And I was surprised and scared at the same time, but I wanted to know, guys. I really wanted to know because she seemed like she really, really knew what she was talking about. Even though I didn't believe her, so to speak, she just seemed like she really knew what she was talking about. So I went in that closet, started taking the bags out, and sure enough, guys, I found a door that was really, you know, there on the floor. I didn't try to lift it up because, I mean, I am a believer that you can, like, let spirits into your house. You know, sometimes they can come with other people. You got to watch who you let in your house. I know you guys may have heard that before, but I wasn't going to open that door, you know. I saw that it was there. That was enough proof for me. I wasn't going to open it and try to explore and all that extraness. I put them bags back in there, closed the closet door, okay? But I did believe her, you know. And she was the one that really, really had the most stories that used to scare me. Because one night, another night, she was like, she came over. She was sitting on my futon. And I was sitting on my bed, but then I just got up and started looking out the window. And, you know, it was just a nice day. And it was a summer night. A summer night. Well, going into the night. And I was just looking out the window. And Sue walked over. And she was looking out the window too. And she said, no, actually, I said, I wonder what it looked like out there 100 years ago. Mind you, I said, and I'll repeat it, I wonder what it looked like out there 100 years ago. And Sue was looking out there and she was like, it was just a bunch of trees, just a whole bunch of trees. And I looked at her like, I just said 100 years ago. How would she know what it looked like 100 years ago? Then Sue went on to tell me that she had been coming and going for a very long time, meaning dying and coming back to life, dying and coming back to life. Okay, that was just a little message. And I was, again, amazed and scared. Amazed and scared, guys. But I kind of believed her, you know, in a weird way. Don't ask me how. I kind of believed it. She used to just tell me some of the craziest stories or stories that I thought was really crazy. But, you know, she told me one time that she died and at her funeral, someone was nice enough to put a comb in her coffin. And she said she really appreciated that because she had slept for about 20 years and that her hair had grown to the ground. It was dragging the ground and that her toenails and, you know, nails are really long. But she said she was really grateful that somebody left a comb in her coffin so that she was able to comb her hair out. Scary. I don't even imagine that, right? But anyway, guys, yeah, Sue, she told me a lot of things about the house. Some I believe, most of it I believe, especially after she proved to me that that door was in my closet. I started to listen to her a little bit more. But I had my own personal experiences, and one of them was just being out and about. Summer night, I was coming to the house, and I was actually across the street from the house, and I heard music. Like, I could hear men and women voices, like music, like partying, and like you can hear like glasses toasting and people just, you know, having a good time. And I'm like, I know ain't nobody in that house having a good time because I knew everybody pretty much. You know, I had been there long enough. And I'm like, this sound like they in there partying. Who could this be? You know, because I knew that these people were quiet and they didn't really party, you know, play music and all that, stuff like that. They didn't. So I'm hearing all this liveliness going on. So I rushed over across the street, you know, like, whoa, what's going on up in here? Everybody's like having a good time. I walked in there, guys. It was nothing going on. Silence. It was nothing going on. Nothing. So that threw me off. But that was one experience. Another experience was just being in the bed there, taking a nap, and I heard something tapping on my window. Didn't know what it was because it was a slow tap at first, kind of like a slow tap that started like this, and it gradually got faster and faster and faster. So I'm getting up and I'm looking at the window and I'm trying to see what the hell is this? It's not the wind. There's no wind blowing the trees. What is this tapping on the window? Couldn't figure it out. So that scared me. I ran out of there, ran and got Sue. Sue came back and, you know, it stopped, but it's just that it freaked me out.